Alrighty, day 4 of the border track trip. So trip recap: day 1 we did Melbourne to Mildura. Day 2, or say we did Kings Billabong National Park, which is just outside of Mildura. Then we went day 2, we went from Mildura, which is over here somewhere, just to there on the map. So I'm just running a Venza, so it's a bit hard to tell, but that little dot there, which is the official start of border track, which is just outside of Renmark, top of Murray Sunset National Park. So from there, try and see, you can see we travelled down, let's just jump over to the next map. So then we stayed at this little red dot here, which approximately was 30 k's off the Sturt Highway going down border track. We stayed at the Shearers Quarter camping area, which is beautiful, you would have seen that. Then from there we went from the Shearers Quarter back onto the border track, which is just on the left here. Travelled all the way down there. Now when we got to the bottom, we had to divert around because we wanted to check out the rock holes, but that was cool because border track actually runs just that line there. Probably a bit hard to tell on the zooms. And then from there, so that little dot there, so you can see my dot, that's where we travelled. Then from there we had to sort of kick around a few main roads because this patch in here was a mix of state forest and farmers paddocks, so we had to divert around some of the farmers paddocks, but we jumped back onto border track. We jumped on it down, I think it's about here on that little dot that you can see moving about there, which was the, I think it's pronounced Barook State Forest. And from there we travelled down. We came just outside of Murrayville and Pinaroo, where we went and grabbed fuel, loaded up with some fuel and got some bit more supplies. Then we came down into Ngarkat Conservation Park, which once we had phone reception last night, I grabbed the car permits for yesterday and today. Camping permits for here, which is the campground which we're staying in. Pine Soak Hut campground area. Bloody nice, good job. So that's all permitted too, so you need to have your fees paid for your camp area and your vehicle. So the plan is now that we're going to deflate the car tyres because we've just been running standard road tyre pressures, and we'll put the sand flag up because it's a requirement in South Australia. And we are going to make our way south down towards we're going to come out Pine Hut Soak track, which will then come back up onto border track because there's a little bit of a patch that's management vehicles only, so we're going to detour around that and we'll jump back up on border track. So I'll show you once we get there. Alrighty, tyre pressures are all done. So running 21s PSI on the front, 26 in the rear. We've got a fair bit of weight in the rear, so it's generally good just to keep a bit extra pressure on the back. So next we're going to put the flag on both vehicles because it's a safety. So I know what you're thinking, that this next section of border track, if you are thinking it, is one way, but the old man had a good point, because if we choose to divert off the track and go exploring elsewhere, well then it becomes two ways and you need a flag again. So it's just better to be safe than sorry and put the flag up. So we've got our King's flag, hoist the flag, fitted up to a little Nitto fitting on the wheel bar. Quick release, if I can get it one-handed. But we realised that there's a problem. I'll just put the camera down. So now that the flag's all connected, like thusly, but there's a fair whack of play in that flag. I'm a pirate. So what we need to do is jam an O-ring in that little stem there. So we've jammed an O-ring inside the collar there, just down below where the air bar would generally sit. And once we put it on, we're nice and tight. Flag is all up, ready to play pirates in the sand. For lag. So it's a little bit loose, but that's just to allow for movement with the wind as we're driving along, but it's a lot tighter than what it was earlier. Just worried about it popping off. So now we've done that, we're going to go hit some tracks. So we've just stopped at the trig point on border track. I think it's Hennessy's or Hensley's trig point, and I've just noticed we got our first casualty of the day, of the trip really, on the car, and that is our poor little sand flag that with all the trees we've been hitting, it's just scrunched up at the top and it's not looking very healthy up there. So we'll pull it down a little bit later once we're off the track and we'll have a look at it and show you what actually happened to it, because it's not looking good whatsoever. Alright, so we just pulled up to a big sand dune. It's a bit hard, it's just on the other side there. There's a detour track to go around the side, but we're going to give it a go. So let's have a look, how we go. Nailed it. So, pardon my puffiness, just ran up the hill. We made it through, as you saw. So I climbed up the dune to have a look, see what Dale was up to. Jumped on the radio, couldn't get him. And then I was like, oh, I can see him down there. He's moving around his car. And lo and behold, look what I found. Shovel on out his car tyres. Stuck at the bottom of the dune. After a little bit of time, I got in front of the bull bar and gave it a good push with these legs of justice, and we got him unstuck, ready to tackle the next dune, which is around the corner. So we've just pulled up at Dogger's Hut for some lunch, and we've opened up the canopies and the tub to find some casualties of the fun today. So I'd found that the fridge runner on my fridge slide here had come off, and the fridge is all sitting on the angle, and it is cracked up and smashed up the top there on my light and just there on the fridge, but that was easily fixables. But the other one that we've had was the bolognese sauce lid is cracked inside Dad's fridge, and it's like a baby has shit itself everywhere. I'll have a look in the fridge. At least it smells good. Doesn't smell moldy or anything, it smells good.
What's your dinner?
It smells like bolognese and lasagna. Let's go clean it all up.
In my soul, in my soul, in my soul, in my soul, I feel so alive. I feel so alive.
So we just pulled up at the signposty posts at the bottom of the Ngarkat Conservation Park. So basically, so far we've done the Murray Sunset leg, the Ngarkat Conservation Park of border track left. So now all we've got left is the Little Desert, and we're almost there at Border Town. So we're about to go have a look at a campsite at Red Bluff, and we'll show you what it looks like. After making it to our campsite in the Red Bluff camping area, we decided to get to making dinner, which was leftover bolognese from what we could scrounge up from the blowout in the fridge. We then made some nice homemade cheesy garlic bread, which was delicious, but if you ask Dad, he says mine was crap, but I'd like to argue differ. And then we decided to crack a beer and call it a night while watching the nice sunset. Alrighty, so we've just packed up and we're heading out from our campsite out here in the Mallee. So last night we stayed at the Red Bluff camping area. I think it's just in the bottom side of Big Desert, in the state park there. Great spot, we had the spot to ourselves again. So now the plan's to... Yeah, right. So the plan is...
On the quarter yet?
The plan is to head out to... yeah, just hit 3/4. So the plan is we're going to head out south down Border Track again, head towards Border Town. Once we pop out of Border Town, we'll grab some fuel, stock up on some supplies that we need, and then head back onto Border Track, and Francis will be our last stop for Border. And then once we get out at Francis, the little town, we're going to head east. We're going to check out Mount Arapiles, check out the mountain climbing section there. We're not climbers, but it'd just be cool to see it. And then from there, we're going to head to Casterton and check out the hometown of the Kelpie, or the birthplace of the Kelpie, because it feels like it'd be a error if we didn't stop in Casterton owning Kelpies. So that's the plan for today, and we'll see you out in the truck a little bit later. Yeah, I ran out of guys.
Was it hard packed or is it soft?
It's hardish. I just ran out a little bit too much steam coming up to the top.
What were you in second?
No, I was in third.
Slow and see if you get enough momentum to crawl there.
The fuck? So after a few attempts, we made it up and over that hill. It just seems that I was running out of juice
Nearly made it.
with third, and second was too low from where I was starting, that I wasn't getting enough momentum. So I backed down a little bit, started off in second again, and just held the revs up, and made it. So second low is the go. Excitement, he did actually get to snatch me out of this little section of the ruts, as it's a little bit too deep for me. I should have gone around, but you know what, it wouldn't have made fun content, so I had to give those nice big 35 and 37 size ruts a crack with a little Trido. After reaching this last rutted section of border track, we had a quick meeting at the end and we actually decided we'd go straight to Casterton and check out the Kelpie Centre from there. Now, I didn't actually film any of it because I just want to enjoy that last bit of the holiday without filming everything. So we're going to actually wrap up the episode here. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like button because it really helps us out. Grab some of our merch to help fund those future trips and we will see you in the next episode. Bye!